And we're live.
Like J.K. Rowling, like say what you want, but like Harry Potter has a pretty decent fucking ending. Like there's a few things I'd change around, but at the end of those books, I've read them multiple times, and the movies, they're very similar the way they end. You're like, yeah, all right, it all worked out in the end.
What happens in the end of Harry Potter? Does he get married and like just live a normal wizard life?
Well, so he's got the big face off with Voldemort finally.
But he wins.
He wins. And a couple of the other characters step up big. Many of the good characters die, and it's quite sad. Lupin and Tonks die, I believe. It's pretty sad at the end. One of the Weasley twins dies, quite sad.
Movie 2? I don't remember that.
Yeah. And but our main group of characters all make it mostly unscathed. Harry, Ron, Hermione, they all make it. And then there's like a prologue or whatever you call it. And I don't know. Epilogue. I guess I won't tell you. He's gone. But yeah, it ends well. I think Harry Potter is gonna be up there with like on the Mount Rushmore of like fantasy for a long time. I saw the other day someone pointing out just how much stuff she stole from Tolkien, like comparing characters in the Harry Potter universe to the Lord of the Rings universe. And it's like, God damn it. That's pretty accurate. Yeah.
Did he establish the universe, Tolkien? Like did he create elves and dwarves and
yeah? But like elves and dwarves, that as we know them, are a Tolkien invention.
But they're also like, we know them. That's how you do it right now. The answer key's out there. You can't just make elves something else. In the same way that like if vampires and werewolves and fairies and something existed in a new thing, I wouldn't say, oh, you copied that. It's like, well, no, that's just what werewolves are.
But you can have a different shift on it, right? Like for example, you don't have to do Mary Shelley's Frankenstein or Bram Stoker's Dracula. You can do a movie like 30 Days of Night, where the vampires are showing up in Alaska, where you've got 30 Days of Night because it's so high up in the and these vampires are very feral almost, and they're not these sexy suave like illusion based vampires. They don't turn into anything. They're vicious and cruel, and feral is the word, and they work in a pack. You can put a little twist on it.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you look at like for one of the examples that was given was in Harry Potter's got the scar that hurts whenever he's in contact with Voldemort or connected with Voldemort in some way, just like Frodo has the scar from Weathertop, where that hurts him all the time whenever he's around the Nazgul. And then Gollum and it's hard to remember all these characters' names. Dobby are basically the very similar characters, and it went down a line. There was a whole litany of these play for play. Like Gandalf is fucking Dumbledore. Like they're just so similar, and it's like, come on.
The Dumbledore is way more badass and powerful.
It seems like
that's a real nerd discussion that happens online. Who wins, Dumbledore or Gandalf? And
did Dumbledore come back to life when he died?
He existed as
no.
He
the answer is given already.
But he's in the afterlife, able to still communicate with Harry. When Harry
still be dead.
Himself crosses over. But Gandalf is essentially an angel. He's a demigod. So.
Well, I like that about Lord of the Rings with Gandalf, that like, and I never got into Harry Potter, but my youngest brother watched the movies, and I didn't like how there was a spell for everything where Hermione would be like, oh, thank God I learned this afternoon to get us out of this pinch.
I like that.
And then, but like Gandalf, there's times it would be like, what are we going to do, Grey Wizard? And it's like, well, I'm drawing my sword too. I don't have unlimited magic, bro. Like it. And it's like,
I don't know, John Rhys Davies. What are we going to do?
Yeah, I don't know, John Rhys Davies is the tallest guy on the cast playing Gimli.
Huge dude.
And it makes sense they had to do that because like they're like, all right, we need a guy who looks like a dwarf, but the only people like that are like 6'5". So,
Yeah.
so we need him.
John Rhys Davies is I knew him from a TV show called Sliders back in the day on
That
Fox.
was him. Wow, I just put that
Yeah.
together because
Gimli's
He
got
was
a
a
fake,
professor.
got a fake nose in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. She borrows a lot, but still, I
You can't
love
even
Harry
picture the
Potter,
partially
and
for it.
one of the things that always made me fantasize about existing, that is probably the universe that I fantasize the most about existing within. Like I was
Harry
like, yeah, Harry Potter, because I loved the way magic worked there and the whole wizarding world and like the whole idea of it. Like everything about it seemed very attractive to me. I liked the idea. I would be like, the fuck, Harry, why aren't you studying? Don't you want to know all these wondrous spells? I would be a Hermione.
I thought that
Like-
too.
Like
Who's
you're
the
telling me
redhead
there's a
character?
library full of books and like every page is another fucking magical spell that I could memorize and master. And
Yeah.
there's a whole class of potions, and some of these potions give me like infinite luck.
Yeah, give
And
you
like
yeah.
there's all sorts of like there's a whole bunch of Rule 34 shit where people are like zoop making their cocks huge and then bang each other with the giant cocks and stuff. And there's a bunch of like even in the books, Hermione like makes herself prettier with magic. Like there's a
How so?
someone puts a spell on her that makes her teeth grow like super big, and they were already big. Like one of her character traits is like she's got ugly big teeth. And so when she shrinks them back, she's like, and a little extra, and like makes them nice. Like instead of going back to her original buck teeth, she's like, while we're here, and like
Yeah.
gives herself nice teeth.
You hit the nail on the head with like the feeling like you should study, because I do remember watching it with my brother and seeing that redhead kid who's friends with Hermione and Harry, Ron, being like, I don't want to study. School sucks. And it was like, dude, you're in fireball class right now.
Yeah.
You're in ice beam class, and you're acting like this is long division. Like I would be early to class every day, be like, are we gonna blow something up today? Even if not, even if we learn how to like make plants grow faster, I'm game. I'm
Yeah.
game. I want to
Yeah.
have the biggest potatoes. Like
There was
Potatoes,
no
that's
boring
what you
class.
make-
They're like,
yeah.
oh, not herbology where we have to work.
oh
with
yeah, you grow
sentient plants.
Oh, like he went to potatoes? The fuck? I'm thinking, I don't know for sure, but you guys have been accused of enjoying the devil's lettuce now and then. I can't imagine you'd use your herbology to...
Yeah, but the magic is unlimited. I can have delicious potatoes roasted with rosemary as I'm smoking my enormous pot plant.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be, man, you could not control bad kids at Hogwarts. Like it would take no time at all for kids to kill each other, especially if you're giving them books and all they have to do is like mispronounce something to accidentally burn the place down or fuck something up. Yeah, that would be the most unrealistic part. There'd be so much rape.
I just fantasize so much. I started reading when I was maybe 12, 13.
Why would there be more rape?
Because like Lucius Malfoy, the bad guy, would cast like Staticus or something, and then it's like, oh, Hermione can't move, and he would just go rape her.
See, but on the counter argument, he could rape her as a normal person. Like boys can rape girls. They're
Yeah, but these people
stronger.
don't even unlock locks without wizardry. Like they
I
they don't
just
even
saying
walk up to a doorknob and open it. They
There's that spell where you can it's called Polyjuice Potion. It's a potion, and you get a little bit of like Taylor's hair, and you make that one of the ingredients, and now when you drink it, you transform into Taylor for a period of time. And like
okay, now that's something you can't do.
and you just be transforming into like hot chicks and whoring yourself out all the time. You wouldn't need a job.
Oh god,
like
my
Woody's
mind went
always
into a
wanted to
different
be
place.
a girl and get fucked. Like Woody would have met like, oh, it's the hardest potion to make, huh? Well, let's start cracking the books, boys.
But teenage me was like, I need to look like that chick's boyfriend. That was my thought process. The old switcheroo.
No, you turn yourself into the girl and then you just squat over a
Yeah,
mirror.
Kyle went straight to being a girl and getting fucked and whoring out.
Yeah.
I'm laying all the hottest chicks in school by being the hottest girl.
This is about making some
guy.
galleons. All right.
What was the name of the class where you learned the best stuff? The ice beams, the fire beams, summoning some sort
Defense
of
against the well, it depended who was teaching that year. God, this is coming off poorly. It depends who was teaching that year, but defense against the dark arts class was the like offensive defensive spell class. It was about fighting and
Well, then
defending
that's the
yourself.
coolest one.
It depends who was teaching the class that year. The year
It
that
was,
Lupin taught, which I believe was third year, was a great year because he's like Harry's like uncle kind of figure. But then like later on, some of the most awful characters in the books taught that class as a way to like hold Harry back in a way. You know, there was, but yeah, defense against the dark arts was like the offensive defensive spell class. Harry taught a year of that.
He made it all the way to teacher.
Well, there was a year where Hogwarts is infiltrated by the Ministry of Magic, you see, and so Harry takes it upon himself to teach the class because the actual teacher is refusing to actually teach anything. So the children all get together and say, Harry, you should teach us. And so they use the room of requirement, which is like this hidden room in the castle that becomes whatever you need it to be. They go into there every night.
Deck, and they train.
It's very much a holodeck, a magical holodeck. And they go in there and Harry teaches them all the things that he's learned over the years, you know, because he's had to face off against
teach. The
Pardon?
teachers the teachers didn't want to teach. They were on strike because of the invasion of the Ministry of Magic.
They were the viewpoint of the Ministry of Magic was that Voldemort had not returned and they would not hear anything else. Actually, this year, the Hogwarts had been taken over by Voldemort's henchmen. And so, no. This is the year before that. Yeah. Ministry of Magic's position was that Voldemort had not returned. And they also did not want any of that stuff taught. So the teacher they put into place is one of the most evil characters ever written in a book.
Oh, is it that horrible woman that dresses
in pink lady? Yeah, she's the worst. And she won't teach anything. She's making them read books and like the theory of self-defense. It's like if you go to your like jujitsu class and everybody just cracks a book and talks about what an armbar would hypothetically look like. And you're like, well, what if I actually need to apply an armbar in a self-defense scenario? Who will you be defending yourself against? I don't know, attackers?
What was her
Where
motivation?
are these attackers? No one's going to attack you.
So she was a bad guy who was like setting them up for failure so they wouldn't be prepared for the bad guy attack?
Worse. She was a bad guy who didn't know she was a bad guy.
She was just a bad teacher.
She was just an evil person who didn't have an agenda other than that of her.
She didn't even have anything to gain by being bad.
No, she didn't know that Voldemort was back. She didn't care. She was just a bureaucrat, power-hungry sociopath.
She sucks. The coolest character is the guy in the woods who talks with spiders and stuff.
That's Hagrid.
Yeah.
Hagrid's a cool guy.
Yeah. I like the part where
Harry Potter talk. I could do a whole Harry Potter podcast because it's one of my. I might like it more than the Tolkien universe. I'm really into it.